Hey, how you doing? Are we live? Give me a second here. I will check it and make sure we are live and give people a second to join us. All right. So let's see. Man, it is good to be here. Happy Wednesday night, guys. I'm good. I'm good. I'm having a good time. Want to make sure. There we are. We are live. Let's take this link here, and share it to the other page. Make sure that we have enough people. It usually takes like 2 minutes, so sorry for the downtime right here, but man, we're gonna have a good time. So it's right there. Share, copy link. Now I'll go over here back to Tom Mabe comedy page and share here. So just delete this. Delete post. Delete. My phone does not. I did a live post for let's see. We're live. Bam. All right. So let's get that going. It is kind of warm in here. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. So wow. All right. So we got some people. Oh, we got some people here, right? Do we? Yeah, they're coming. They're coming. So welcome to Sober Talk. You're here because you want to get sober, you need to get sober, or perhaps you're just sober curious. Whatever the reason is, we're glad you're here, guys. So here's a story about the show. I've quit drinking many a times. I once went like 18 months and 18 years, and it was the first 18 years. But seriously, I've gone 6 months, I've gone 2 years, and this time I am 61 days in. How about that? Living alcohol free, man. Living alcohol free is one thing, but living alcohol free and happy is another thing. And I'm doing it differently this time, man. I hope it works. But sometimes we discuss health benefits, both physical and mental, and sometimes we share drunken war stories. And sometimes those stories are hilarious, and sometimes they end in divorce, prison, and sometimes death. Alcohol is very, very bad for a lot of people if you drink too much. So how can you tell if you got a drinking problem? If it causes problems. So there you have it. So no matter why you're here, man, I'm glad you're here. If you want to call in, you can. The number is 502-273-5676. That's 502-273-5676. And wow, so I got this every day. I look at my little app here. It's my wife's got this app on how to work out and count your calories and count your steps. And there's actually an app for how to stop drinking or counting your days. Right now I am 61 days in, and very excited about that. And a lot of people who drink, they drink because they want confidence. They're drinking to deal with problems. But in my case, the drinking became a bigger problem than the problems I was trying to deal with. And you end up doing things that you're not happy with, you're not proud of, and it's tough. So it's so that's part of the steps. I'm doing a 12-step program, and I've never tried one. And I used to make fun of the 12 steps, and now I get up most mornings and I do this Zoom group. It's a AA group called the Early Worms. It's based out of Louisville, Kentucky, my hometown. And so yeah, it's cool. It's cool. So let's see. So right away we got someone they want me to call them. It's Kat. Let's see. I am the child of an alcoholic. Let's call and see what Kat has to say. She says she is a child of an alcoholic. Let me make sure my phone's on. And if you call and I don't pick up, it's not because I don't want to talk with you. It's because I'm on the other line. But your number does show up. It goes in a queue, and I will call you back after that. So let's go to the phone here. Make sure that I can call Kat. Kat wants to talk. I'm glad she wants to talk. So let's go. All right, so let's see here. She actually put her phone number on. Let's see. So let's see. Oh no, Kat put my number down. Kat, I was getting ready to call. I was getting ready to call you. So we do have another person we can call. But yeah, just in the comments, man, just put down if you want to talk or go live with us on Sober Talk, you can. Let's hear it on. They're here on 407 957 7719. All right, Kat, I think I got it here. 771. All right.
Hello?
Is this Kat? Oh, oh well that. Hello, hello, hello. All right, so Kat Landrove, you gave me someone else's number and they hung up on me. So, all right, we are going to call Jim. This is Jim's third day of being alcohol free, and we're excited about it. Jim is alcohol free. Let's see how his day is going. Oh boy, here we go. This is very professional. This is just really, really good. Dun, 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 dun. I love music when I find it. Dun, 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 dun.
Hey, Tom.
Hey, buddy, how are you?
All right. Yourself?
I'm good. It's always a rough start. Every time I start the show, I'm here by myself. It's hard to get people coming at night, and especially with the COVID and everything, I forget to push a button or realize I'm not live on one computer or a certain mic's not record. Whatever. It's always something. But I'm not throwing things around because I'm not drunk. You know what I mean? So this is a big day for you. You say it's day 3 of your sober journey.
It is day 3.
How's that going?
Day 3, and learning lessons every day. It's kind of funny. I was just sitting here thinking about what I told you earlier today when I was talking to you for a second. That last night I was looking for an excuse. I think.
Oh.
Excuse. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. My wife was like a little. Simple question. She said a couple of things. I didn't have the right answer, and man, the first thing I thought of was, man, you know what? Just screw it, man. I'm gonna go get a drink. Okay, but you know what, man? No matter how hard I try, I can't do nothing right.
Yeah.
But he kind of told me, you know what? If you go get a drink, you're really not gonna be doing something right. And it's like I said yesterday. It's like, man, stop looking for excuses. Stop looking for that excuse that, I'm going to have a drink because I'm frustrated. I'm going to have a drink because I'm happy. I'm going to have a drink because, hey, you know what? I just feel like having a drink. No, that's your brain telling you we want alcohol. We got to have alcohol. It's not your heart telling you, hey, man.
Well, you know what? When you're trying to work on your sobriety, and like, even like if I'm sitting through a Zoom meeting, I know my if I'm in the office or whatever, I know my addiction's out in the parking lot doing push-ups. Alcohol it will kick your ass, and it'll find any reason, any excuse to have a drink, and that's why they for years people say you can't quit on your own. You can't, because we're drinking because of we're restless, we're irritable, we're discontent, we're drinking because we're insecure, we have a lot of self-pity, and it just kind of bring us to until you fix yourself, the drinking is just a symptom of a screwed up person, which is me, and which it sounds like could be you too.
Oh yeah.
So how are you feeling?
Well, when I got home, I was feeling a little tired, but man, throughout the day, it's like all of a sudden, man, instead of going, you know what, I'm gonna hop in the car where I work. It's like instead of hopping in the car and going, I'll drive over here to use the bathroom. Well, you know what? Get your butt out the car and walk up there, man.
Oh, nice.
Walk up there.
Yeah.
And then then walk over here, man. Hey, you know what? You're out here in the parking lot. Why not take a couple laps around the parking lot?
Yeah. When you go to Walmart, park in the back of the parking lot. Take a little walk.
Well, in just a couple of days of stopping drinking, it's like, well, damn, man, my legs don't look like 2 5-gallon water buckets, man, holding water.
You so you were
I
so
had real
have you
bad leg swelling.
and what is that called? Neuropathy? Is that legs?
Oh, I can't. It's something. It's basically where my kidneys, along with my heart, are not adequately removing fluid. So it actually causes the fluid to go into the cells and starts to settle in your leg. It's basically I've drank to the point that my kidneys and my liver is just basically saying, dude, if you don't care, we don't either. So, but even severe liver damage, so heavy drinking, your liver can repair itself. I mean, when you get to the point of heavy cirrhosis, it may not be as good, but the first start, no matter what, now, no matter if you've been drinking 10 years, drinking a fifth a day, the first thing and the best thing to do is stop. If you
Yeah.
stop, at least some type of healing will begin, whether it's on your body or on your mind. And man, I mean, I have not gone 3 days without a drink, man, and probably I'd say at least 3 years.
So you were everyday drinker for 3 years.
Oh yeah, and I wouldn't. I mean, hey man, yeah, no. I mean, here's the deal. Nobody knew. Nobody knew. No, people know me now.
You
Don't
really
know.
think that's the case? You don't think that your wife or friends didn't know that you were drinking?
Well, here's the funny thing about it. I think I heard when you were talking to Kevin last night about it.
Kevin, yeah, uh-huh.
The fact of the matter is, what friends, man? It's like, okay, if I can go hang out with my friends, or I can sit at home, man, hang out in the garage, drink. I can sit out there and drink, man. Hell, my friends, they can do what they want, man. I can go hang out, literally George Thorogood, I drink alone.
Yeah.
That's what I was doing, man. I had my little hiding spot.
You know what what I've done? I've done this. This is really interesting. I would drink alcohol-free beer to cover up the smell. Like if I was drinking, I had a few beers at the office. I would go walk in the door holding like an old Duels or something like that. And there's been times where I've actually poured the real beer, I poured the fake beer out of the bottle and pour the old Duels in there. And
you learn to be pretty sneaky. Now here's the one thing about it. I guess that's why I always drank Absolute. For some reason, with the way I mixed it, you really couldn't smell it. Other brands I could smell. I smell it.
so you kids at home, who are wanting to disguise your breath from alcohol, try the Absolute. This part of Sober Talk is brought to you by Absolute Vodka. That's awful.
Well, but the thing is I used to mix it with everything from Gatorade to freaking,
Milk.
orange soda to tea to why. Well, and here's the thing, for a while I would make my wife a drink to kind of throw her off a little bit.
Oh,
And
smart.
I used to make her. She liked Kahlua, and ironically, Kahlua, milk, a little vodka, and hey, next thing you know, man, she's hanging out. She's got the dude going. Having a little White Russian, and I did the same thing with my wife that passed away years ago.
Oh,
Man,
wow.
give her a couple drinks, and let her mellow out. She didn't have to drink all the time, but
Wow.
I did. And but it wasn't. They weren't alcoholics or anything. I mean, they would just have a glass of wine or something like that. But the bottom line is no one ever called my bluff on it. No one
Yeah.
ever said, "Hey, man, I know you're drinking." And it's. I mean, I come from a history. Dad drank. My brother drank. Hell, my brother had the real distinction of getting a DUI on the way to an AA meeting.
Oh,
Literally, he was on his way to an AA meeting, was drunk, hit a fire hydrant, and he won one of the awards for.
How can you do that? I remember back before I would try meetings out. I'm just gonna go see what these things are about, and I never found one. I always felt like I needed to drink. I never found one that worked for me. But I remember someone coming in drunk and just talking, well, Jesus, and this, he's just going off on his high horse, and he's just being, just belligerent, and it just, the thing, alcohol is, they say, in AA, it's cunning, it's baffling, and it's very powerful. And you know how powerful it is if you're going to drive that drunk to an AA meeting where you're going to hit a fire hydrant and get a DUI.
Oh yeah.
Jeez,
Yeah,
that's amazing.
and what actually finally made him see the light was it was a Breeders' Cup weekend. My mother had a stroke, he showed up at the hospital. He was so drunk. My brother, when he would get drunk, he would actually start becoming Italian. He would start talking to, hey, you got to take care of my mom. No.
Oh God.
And
It's a
it
bad
turned out that it turned out after they figured out and found the receipt that he had drank at least a case of beer that day. He had drank over 2/5 of scotch. His blood alcohol level was up in the 0.41 to the point he was ready to go into a coma.
Wow.
Now this was after I got stuck at the hospital with him. Was trying to get him home. I dropped him off. He wanted to fight me. Literally the Tom Mabe, fight me, man, fight me.
Yeah.
And I got in front of his house. I told him, you want to fight me? Get out. We'll fight right now. He got out. I turned my truck around. I pulled up, told him get in his house and sleep his ass off and just stop acting stupid. And about 2 hours later, his wife was calling me, wanted to know if I'd seen him. I dropped him off right in front of the house. 3 hours later, we found out he got picked up for getting into a fight in St. Matthews. And it turned out that he went up to the house. His daughter wouldn't let him in. He got mad, kicked the door in, and went in screaming at her. And it turned out I'd accidentally dropped him off at the house 3 doors down from his house.
Hey Jim, I want everyone to hold this thought for 1 second because I have to run. Well, I don't know if I need to fix this or just let this go by. I don't think we're having some technical difficulties. Guys, give me like 30 seconds. Hold on.
No problem.
So if you're watching, hey Jim, can you hear me? Hey Jim, can you hear me? Check one. Hello? Hey Jim, can you hear me?
So I mean, Tom, if you're talking, I can barely hear you.
Well, I'm in the control room here. I'm waving to you guys. Just we're live. We're still live. We're still live.
Yeah, you sound like you're back in the corner of a room.
Yeah, I got to restore this. I forgot. Again, I should have a checklist of things to do.
All the fun things that happens during live broadcast.
Well, and I'm by myself too, so that's kind of a hard thing to do when you're by yourself. So, hey Jim, can you see me?
Yeah. I don't have where I'm sitting at right now. I don't have to sit in that feed.
All right, 1 second. All right, here we go. Here we go. All right, Jim, are you there? Are you there, brother?
I am here. I am definitely here.
Yeah, I think this may be the last episode I do by myself. There's so many things that I even got here like an hour and a half early just to go through all these things. But where you at now? Are you at Beefs?
No. I'm actually in the garage.
Oh, okay.
But not drinking. I was taking garbage out and stuff, and all of a sudden I'm like going, oh, okay, what time it is? What time is it? And I'm like, oh, okay, it's about time to talk to Tom. And I was admiring my dead fly trap that I've made. And that's about reflecting on life and thinking, hey, I'm glad I'm not one of those flies that's drowning in that water right now.
Well, tell me about third day. Third day. Are you okay with the third day right now?
It's typically the third day would be that day. It's like, well, you know what? I've gone 2 days so far. Hey, I ought to celebrate with a drink tonight because I'm doing good.
Yeah, I got this. I got this. I could have a couple drinks tonight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I can have one or two, and I could have one or two, but it will lead to 12. It'll lead to 15. It will lead to me downing an entire fifth. So the thing is yeah, I don't want to. I could do it. My brain could try to trick me into it, but man, I'm just sick and tired of doing it. I've done it for so long. I've damaged my body so badly, and like I said, most people. I told a friend of mine last night, a mutual friend of ours. It's a musician that I've known, man, since you probably know if you knew, but said he used to own a really nice music shop out in the Highlands a long time ago.
Yes.
And,
I know exactly what it is. Yes.
And man, me and him have been friends, and he attempted to teach me to play guitar back when I was a kid, and then eventually he told me to never touch a musical instrument again.
Was he drinking? Was this person? How does that tie into this?
No, he's never drank, but he's the first person other than you. But he's the first person that I've been close with, lifelong friend,
right,
that I actually told. And he said, man, the last time I thought you drank was when I did a comedy show down in New Orleans, not too long after 9/11.
Yeah.
4th of July weekend, I had a show to do down there, and he rode with me, and he was freaking out about the fact that he's like, wait a second, man, comedians, you don't have to share a room with 5 other guys, and all you have to do is you don't have to share your own microphone.
Yeah.
So, but he was like, he said, I never really seen you, other than when you drank down there. But he said, I never knew you had a problem.
Yeah.
And there's a guy that we go out to dinner, man. I buy him, we buy lunch and hang out. But I've never had the guts to even tell him that, man, I'm worried.
See, I always thought he could drink a little much sometimes. I know who you're talking about.
No, he's never. He was one of these guys. Oh, he probably drank, but he was always real straight laced when it came to music, man. I mean, his thing was music. He would drink back in the day, but even he over the years has developed enough health problems, man, to where he's got to wear a knee brace. He's gained a lot of weight and had a lot of health issues. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of it for him is as well as me, is how many musician friends we've had that have killed over.
Yeah, the occupation, and I want to hear more of your story. I want to spread it out over the week here. But a lot of our friends are dying because the occupational hazards of being a musician, being a salesman. I have a buddy, he's a dear friend, and his job is to go out every night and take clients out. And like Kevin, who spoke last night, he started having breakfast with people as opposed to happy hour.
Oh yeah.
Smart.
That was great. That was a great idea. And even when you look at just different performers in general. Look at Tony Vanetti, man. I mean, Vanetti is he is anti-alcohol, and he's even told this story before about how it cost him his first marriage. He just happened to remarry again because he got a clue.
Yeah.
Going out drinking, but sometimes it's part of your job, and like as comedians.
I remember Tony back in the day. He and I would drink together.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There you go. And it's some people have that ability. To say, hey man, when I'm on vacation, I'm gonna drink and have a good time. But then when you come back from vacation, I drank on vacation. I'm fine. I don't need no drinking. I don't need to drink now.
Mm-hmm.
But we as true alcoholics, I there was a commercial a couple years ago. Used to crack me up. But the guy would come on and go, I used to be an addict, but I'm no longer because I went through this addiction program. No, you're always an addict.
Yeah, you're
always.
Well, hey, buddy. Well, let me call the numbers. Since I got the number up on the screen now, and we're actually live. I'm actually getting calls. But the main thing is day 3. They say that Carl was telling me last night that he said, Carl Martin. He said, tell your buddy, day 3 can be tough, and it sounds like you're okay.
Well, honestly, man, I was taking some stuff out. Got my little dog with me, man. She's looking at me like, Daddy, I ain't gonna let you drink. And honestly, I think I'm just starting to realize, man, it's just, the wife is doing her thing with watching the country music awards, and it's like, I just really, it's getting near my bedtime again.
Well,
So
good,
for the last
good.
3 nights, man, I've gone to bed at a normal time, and tag on it. Sure enough, I woke up feeling good. The first night was rough, man. It couldn't shut that brain off, but.
All right, brother.
But,
I'm gonna hang up on you.
I'm better.
I'm not gonna really hang up. I'm not gonna hang up on you, but no, I'm not gonna hang up. But I'm so happy for you, and I want to touch base every day until you at least get like 7 days under your belt.
Absolutely.
Freudian slip.
All right,
All right, buddy.
man.
Talk to you soon.
Hey, I have to listen. Thanks, man.
All right, we're gonna give Kat a call back. Kat apparently, hey Natalie, Natalie just joined us. We'll give her a call back because let's see here, we're gonna go here, and we're going here, and let's see if I can get through to Kat. She said she gave me her right number. I don't know. Oh well. All right, Kat, we tried it. See, Natalie, this is what happens sometimes. We try to call people back, and you get upset, and you don't realize that, hey, hold on, let's see here. Did she leave a message?
But it will lead to 12. It'll lead there.
Nope, shit, that's something else. So let's go to Carl. I want to talk to you in a little bit, if you don't mind. Let me see here. And soon we're going to have the sauce set up, and everything's going to be great. Whenever you'll call it, look, if you're trying to quit drinking, you want to quit drinking, you're thinking about quit drinking, someone, please feel free to share the, I'm doing this for me. I'm being very, very stingy. I am doing this for myself, and that's what
Your call has been.
that's what that is. But it's cool that people like the guy DA last night. He said he's been watching our little show here. We're like on episode 17. He said he's cut way back. He was drinking a case of Heineken a day. He's down to 7 a day, not 7 cases, but 7 beers. Jim heard us, and he said he's drinking, a fifth of vodka every single night, and he's my age, and it starts. Hold on. Kevin Llewellyn, how you doing, my friend? Well, let me now. Let's
Can you hear me?
There you are, Kevin. How are you, buddy?
Doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. There are a lot of people just last night. I know Carl had a lot of good things to say about your share, and just talking to my buddy Jim. He got a lot from the stuff you were saying, and that's the thing about this. I got this new page, and by the end of the night, people watch it. A lot of people don't want to come live; they'll watch it afterwards because they don't want to see. They don't want to see. They don't want people to see their name in the comments or hey, so and so is watching. And I totally get it. And a lot of people that they just want to drink or they want to stop. Others need to stop, and some people are just sober curious. There's a whole new movement now of people just not drinking. Like now, we see how that affects other people. We see the bad decisions people make. I don't have a problem with it, but I bet if I keep on drinking, like rolling the dice, I'm going to screw up. I'm going to mess up and do something stupid. But don't you wish that you could just done that on your own? And I'm just sober curious. I want to try it. I want to be sober curious. How are you today?
Oh, I'm doing great. It was another good day. Got back to work, which is always a positive thing. A little bit smoky here still, but not terrible. But I'm doing good. And you're doing well?
Yeah. Well, I got here like an hour and a half early to get everything set up, and wanted to make sure I was recording on the new board here. And I'm sitting here and I'm talking. I see like 4 people, and I realize that I'm not getting any calls. And I forgot to turn a piece of gear in there that sent the feed out to everybody. And just a tad of a little bit of a rough start. I tell you this, it would have been an excuse to have drank in the past, but no, that's there's a certain confidence you get when you're not drinking. There's a insecurity, insecurity and self-pity that you used to have, and that causes you to drink. I've studied a lot of this, and one day I'm going to discuss how I got to where I'm at this time around. I'm just not there yet. But
All in due time.
yeah, all in due time. But so last we talked about, you were talking about your family and Thanksgiving dinner and people drinking. No fists were flying around or anything like that. What's some other benefits that because you said you would just say screw it, I'm gonna drink by myself, and you had the neuropathy, you had all the bad things, you were overweight. What health changes in your body, changes in your life when you quit? What are some of the benefits that you see by being sober?
I think the biggest benefit will be, I would say, mental clarity. I never, when I first went into treatment, I was withdrawing really bad. The physical ailments were there. It was when we dove into the science of how your body heals after long-term alcoholism, and especially the brain. They showed MRI CAT scans, not of my brain, but of alcoholic brains next to non-alcoholic brains, and you could tell right away. Okay, there's a difference. Okay, and then they showed the
Wow.
progression of the sobriety of the alcoholic, and on those MRI scans, you actually didn't. You could still tell the alcoholic brain even after 5 years, and they said it would take roughly 15 to 20 years for the alcoholic brain to look like the non-alcoholic brain. And during that healing process, you get better mental clarity. And that for me, it happened. When I first stopped drinking and I was withdrawing terribly, I couldn't. I have an iPad, right, and my iPad has a little flip out keyboard.
Okay.
I, I
Mm.
I was so mentally foggy for the life of me. I couldn't put the damn thing back together. I couldn't figure out how to pull the iPad back together. I'm staring at it, and my brain could not. It just couldn't figure it out. Basic, simple tasks. I would forget names of people. I would
Yes,
forget
and
what
almost
I
like
was doing.
you start worrying. Am I got early onset dementia or Alzheimer's? Yeah, I've been there and I've done that.
Yeah, and it's like as I got stayed sober longer and longer, mental clarity came back, and it was just like a rush. It was just one day. I woke up, I felt great. I started to notice with work, I could multitask better. I could communicate more effectively. I could retain information that I was hearing from other people better,
Right.
and that still gets better and better weekly. It's just
How about your
my
look?
opinion.
What Carl was telling me last night, he said, he said when you first started this, your face had a certain swollen look to it, and he said it looked like you lost weight, and I really haven't lost any weight, but I've lost about an inch of puffiness around my face, so that's what he's seeing. Did you notice the people said, "Man, Kevin, you're looking good." Did you get any of that?
I heard a lot that you got color back. A lot of people said I got my color back. I was
Wow. Okay.
really pale and pasty, probably. Of people that I had worked for, that I had worked with during my drinking days, that came to check in on me after recovery. First thing when they opened the doors, like, oh my gosh, you got color back. You look great. And then I think a lot of it had to do with self-esteem as well. There was a point I just didn't care what I looked like.
Yeah.
So as far as self-care goes, which is an important part of recovery, that has improved a lot. Now it's, you know, I definitely don't eat as good as I should. And
Well, I'm
so
not
now
judging my eating, but you're a year and 1 month in. You probably should start getting. I'm still eating chocolate at midnight, or whatever. So,
last night for some reason I had a craving for bacon. And so I ran down and got a pack of bacon and made some bacon and eggs and some toast at 9 o'clock at night. So, it
dude, I
happens.
love breakfast at night. Love breakfast at night. Well, look, I just want to say hi. I went an hour over last night, so
Oh,
I just. Well, no, that's not your fault. But I wanna talk to as many people as I can, and I always like I get a couple gems from you every time you and I speak, and I so appreciate you being available, and eventually all this that I'm doing, I really think I'm going to take this to a different level, and I'm just trying to figure out the best way to do it. Cause I've got 4 million followers. I don't want to use those guys so much to try to launch, you know, a channel or YouTube, a Facebook, an Instagram, a TikTok, or for something that's nothing to do. It's like when you're binge watching, you know, Breaking Bad, then all of a sudden an episode of The Golden Girls come in. You're like, hey, what's this? What's this? And that's how.
What's the-
Yeah, and I get those kind of comments and I get those, dude, I didn't sign up for this shit. What the hell is this? And, all right, so that's why I started Sober Talk. 'Cause I just wanted, even though we got 23 people watching out, there are 23 people who want to be here, and I'm not trying to push anything on people who don't want to hear this, but I do want to take this to the next level, and we're figuring it out. I'm talking to some folks. Some people go back and they watch it and they go, wow, this is going to help people, and that's what really kind of just kind of helping me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so.
I recognize that from the beginning, and it's one of those platforms you have the opportunity to reach out to folks live, and then it's also, I'm assuming, stays recorded, where folks can go and see it afterwards.
Right, yeah, we're gonna put it to podcast. We're gonna go through, and like before I called you, I had to take a minute out and had to go over and reset my cameras and the interface that sends it out to different platforms and stuff. Anywho, we'll go through and edit out all that silly stuff, and we're gonna put up on a podcast. I think we're gonna keep it. I think we're gonna call it Sober Talk, maybe to add a word or two because I think there's some other Sober Talks out there.
Right.
I'm glad you recognize it because I tell you, I've had a lot of hits. How do I say it? I've launched a lot of things in my career, be it musical artist or ideas, restaurants, and I always know when I got something. Oh, the revenge of the telemarketers. When I did that, I ended up selling millions of, a couple million CDs and downloads, right. And I still get mailbox money from that idea from XM radio because I'm on XM quite a bit. And when I know when I got something, and I felt like this is going to help people, and we get, so I'm glad you noticed it too. It just reinforces my need and want to do this. So, but
you're realizing the a true calling, and it's the passion of what you're doing. Not only does it help you, but everybody listening and everybody who goes back and watches. And there are people who are the questioning, am I an addict? Am I an alcoholic?
Sure.
Where am I in this progression? And just seeing the word sober engages people, I believe, this day and age, because it means something different to everybody.
Yeah, like the 30-year-old or the 25-year-old, and the new movement. Again, I'm much older than you are, but there's people who's like, hey, we're gonna, I could call it sober curious. We're just not going to do it.
Yeah.
We're just not going to, maybe on New Year's Eve, but, our society is always everything. Let's have a drink. Let's grab a drink. Every country song I hear, and there ain't nothing that a beer won't fix. So every single thing has alcohol involved in it.
Yep.
And it's, and I get it. I had many, many years of great times drinking, and I've had, some times that I said and did things that I should have never done, so.
Well, the disease does not discriminate by age, race, sexual orientation, or anything, and it's something that everywhere in the world it is it's a problem. So, bringing awareness, I'm right there with you, brother. I think it's a great thing, and I'm here to help any way I can.
Kevin, I'll talk with you soon. Thank you so much for picking up.
You're welcome. Have a great night.
All right, you too, buddy. See you. That's our friend Kevin. He picked up. We were going to try to call Kat again. Kat, let's do this. Did you try to call shortly? Tom. 770. I don't know who that is. Let's try to call Kat one more time. And let's see here. All right. And Kat, if you don't pick up, I promise whoever I'm talking with, next time I'm just going to abort that call and talk with you. I promise.
Hello?
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 Hi.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Who are you?
Hello?
Who are you?
I'm Tom. Is it?
Hello, who are you?
All right. Kat, is Kat around?
Yeah, this is Kat. Is this Tom Mabe?
It's Mabe.
Mabe?
Mabe, maybe, perhaps. I get it all, Kat. So how?
Okay, I just thought I was getting a prank call.
No, you hung up on me earlier. That's why you thought I asked you. So you're watching my Sober Talk on Facebook, I assume, because you.
Yes, I am.
So how are you? I'll turn your computer down. It's
Who are you?
We'll wait for Kat to turn her computer down. Hey, Kat,
Yeah,
are you?
this is Kat. Is this Tom Mabe?
right, Kat, turn your computer off. I'll call you back later, okay?
Okay.
Turn your volume down. All right. So let's see here. That was Kat. It was a very very that happens quite a bit. I remember hearing radio stations and the DJ says, turn your radio down. Turn your radio down." And it's happening here on our little Facebook thing here. So let's see if we can call. Here we go. Hey, Kat, you there? I'm doing well. So tell me, what's going on? Are you a drinker? Do you want to stop? Have you already stopped? What's your story?
My story is my dad was a real bad alcoholic.
Okay.
He got 5 DUIs.
Wow.
He ended up quitting drinking somehow. And he died at 68 of COPD and liver failure.
Wow.
And I almost became an alcoholic. In high school, they had this place called Drink and Sink, and we would go there, pay one fee, and you drink all night and then drive home drunk.
Wow.
Well, I almost killed me and my friend, and that's the day I quit drinking.
And how old were you then when you decided to do that? Were you a teenager or were you 21?
I was 24.
Wow. So you just saw that it was going to. So that was your.
I didn't want to be my dad.
Right.
I didn't want to be my dad.
So you haven't drank since then. Let me ask you this: how's your? Because a lot of times we talk about drinking as just a symptom of other things. You know, it is definitely genetically. You know, it's hereditary and things like that. When you quit, do you have insecurities? Do you have? Are people out to get you? Are you self-conscious about things? Are you pretty solid as a person?
Of course.
Of course. Okay.
Of course. In fact, I've been diagnosed with bipolar. So what I was doing with the drinking was self-medicating.
Well,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. You know, I was self-medicating, and I had one doctor said, "You're not an alcoholic, but you're the worst case of ADHD I've ever seen. You're just."
Yeah,
wow.
and I've got PTSD and bipolar. Yep.
And I mean, I'm
That's why I drank. Now I'm on medicine and I'm fine.
well, good. There's a thing about a lot of alcoholism comes from the abandonment as a child. You had that because your dad was gone.
I had that from my father.
Yeah, and
right.
There's trauma, so that kind of throws in there. So it's very interesting. But when you start realizing that, I tell my kids, they worry what people think of. They're constantly worrying. Do you think that they're mad at me? And I'm like,
well, it's awful. It's awful. It's very shameful to the children.
Yeah, and I tell my kids, it's not what people think of you. It's what you think about them. And and something may happen.
You can't have your friends over because your dad's going to be falling down drunk.
That's happened.
It's awful.
I've gotten drunk in front of my kids' friends. I've passed out in the chair in the living room. And
I mean, that right there should make you quit.
Well, yeah.
For real.
That's one of the things that really made me quit. And I hear people, the wife will pack 2 suitcases, like, hey, you move or I move. You go to rehab or I'm moving, or whatever. Whatever it takes. I've got lucky. We were just talking to Jim earlier. He wrapped a truck around a telephone pole. And you got no
oh my
wreck.
God.
Yeah, and he.
Well, I didn't actually get in a wreck. I was going off I-95 and it was raining. And my car flipped around 3 times. I didn't hit nothing. It stalled out. And I said, "Are you all right, Carol?" And she says, "Yeah." I said, "I'm all right." I said, and then as we were spinning around 3 times, I was going, "Oh, fuck, oh, fuck."
Oh, wow.
Sorry
wow.
about the language. Yeah, because I didn't hit nothing, and we didn't get a wreck. But it was, we were on I-95 and in the middle of the night because we'd been drinking all night.
Yeah. So with this medication, so you were self-medicating with the alcohol, but right now you're on medication. Were you taking like Abilify or something for bipolar? Or I've tried every kind of medication.
No, I'm on Geodon, sertraline, and 2 others. I forget.
No worries. Don't. I was just curious.
No, exactly what happened is my sister got diagnosed with bipolar, and she told me what medicine that her doctor was giving her, and so I took the list to my doctor, and then I got on the same thing she's on.
Oh, really? Yeah.
She's bipolar also.
Do you think if your dad wasn't, you think your dad was self-medicating?
Of course.
You think he was bipolar?
He was very insecure.
Oh, yeah. I'm the most.
Yeah, probably bipolar or PTSD or something.
Wow.
because he was in the war. I mean, not in the war. He was in the service, Air Force. He came
Wow.
out of there an alcoholic. Plus his grandfather, great grandfather, all the way up the line, all alcoholics.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Right now, I'm worried about my brother. I'm worried about my brother and his nephew because they kind of drink a lot.
your nephew or his nephew?
My nephew,
Yeah, you see your brother and his nephew. So yeah,
my brother and my nephew.
yeah.
But I don't know what to do. I can't help them.
Well,
They have to help themselves.
yeah, and they'll know. I've had people throughout the years, pull me aside, go, dude, you got to just stop. I'm like, yeah, come on, you're crazy. I'm a musician, I'm a comic, and I love drinking. I can't imagine, and you just can't. I got a dear friend who will get drunk and he'll go, Tommy, now you got to big brother me on this. You got to big brother me on this. And he's starting to see the health, the thing kick in, and he can't feel his feet, and the neuropathy,
Oh God,
and all this stuff, and
that's horrible.
people lose their limbs because of alcoholism, and it's so.
Oh my God, I didn't know that.
Oh no, geez, you lose,
I
yeah,
didn't know
Cat,
that.
I'm telling. There's so
Was
many things.
diabetic?
Yeah, well, and they actually, Carl just sent the link. Alcohol abuse, fourth leading preventable cause of death. The fourth leading, it causes cancer.
Wow,
So
that's
a big
horrible.
prostate cancer, rectum cancer. There's everything.
Yeah, my grandfather died of rectum cancer.
Rectal, yeah, and
My grandmother died of.
your grandmother died. Was she a drinker too?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks for.
My grandma did not drink. My grandma did not drink. She had breast cancer and died, but she ate a lot of grease. Old
Okay.
South,
Well, there you go. Cut out the grease and cut out the alcohol. I'm glad that you're a non-drinker and keep.
Well, actually, I can drink occasionally, and I do.
Oh wow, you're
I
one of the
don't
lucky
get drunk.
ones. Oh, good for you. Good for
Yeah,
you. Keep it in
because I
check.
stopped it early. I stopped it early because I was 24. I'm married 35 years to the same man.
Oh wow.
And
is he a drunk?
he doesn't have a problem with alcohol, and neither do I.
Well, good. Well, hey, it was so great to talk with you. I will
Thank you.
free up the line here, but I'll keep my your brother and your nephew in my thoughts, and someone needs to say,
Thank
hey,
you.
someone needs to say, hey, look at Dad, look at Grandpa, it's hereditary. Look how they died. You either focus on your health right now, or you're going to focus on your illnesses here soon. And it's either.
There you go. Yep.
Yeah. So, all right, I'll talk with you down the road. Thank you, Kat.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
bye-bye.
you.
So wow, yeah, guys, it is a powerful disease, and it will kill you. They call it a disease because if you don't stop, you will die from it. There's no you hear stories. My grandmother lived 101 years old. My wife's grandmother, damn it, she literally lived to be 101 years old, and she had the occasional drink, but she wasn't drinking every day and every night. I'm talking about people who have a tendency of starting their day out with a drink or starting at lunch. My whole family. I met my biological father, and I said, "Hey, Paul, did you?" His name was Paul. I didn't call him Paul, but I said, "You drink?" He said, "Tommy, on my side of the family, you drink or you don't drink." Oh wow, yeah. And my mother, she had a drinking problem. She quit. And I remember as a kid. Now it's coming back to me. I remember as a kid, we went to live with my uncle, my aunt and uncle, and they both had they took us in, and they said your mom's got to go away for do something. And now I realize probably rehab, which is good. It was great. But I used to come home from school, and she, it's hard. You'd be a single parent taking care of three kids, and me, I'm just like my son. I mean, I was hard to deal with. It was my wife would go, all right, when Josh is bouncing off the wall. Josh could run 7 miles and never leave the couch. God gave him lots of energy, and it's just all the stuff he has going on. I was the exact same kid, so mom would self-medicate to deal with her kids and trying to keep it all together. So it is a way to self-medicate and plow through. I started drinking back up, during the COVID, and I lost every gig I had. I've lost, I saw my musician friends, they lost their gigs, and it was tough, and they were people, restaurants going out of business, and tough time. So Let's go here. Let's call this guy here. Let's see. Let's see. So for like this, I think this is Carl. I don't have these numbers memorized, but Carl, if your area code is 770, I'm calling you back. And Carl, if I do call you and you pick up, if someone calls in, I'm gonna hang up abruptly because you and I get a lot of stage time together. That's what we call it in the business, stage time. So you can't practice comedy at home. You can only practice comedy on a stage. Uh, and you got to bomb, and you got to, you know.
Hi, this is Carl. Please leave your name and number or send me a text on.
All right, so Carl, I'm not calling you. I want to try you one more time. Here we go. That's Carl. Hey, hey, Carl.
Hey, Tom. Just
What you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm good. Let me pause your video so I can talk to you.
Cool. Yeah,
I
I was
was
just talking to Kat. I don't know where she was. I didn't ask her. But I don't know if you heard that. Her dad was an alcoholic, died of COPD and liver failure, and that's
I heard that, and man, goodness, and I think I don't know if you saw my post or not regarding the. It is the fourth leading cause
yeah.
of
I gave you a shout out
preventable.
on it. Yeah, I gave the fourth leading cause of a preventable death. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and that, and you can look at CDC. I mean, it's an actual fact, and it's the least talked about uh, disease. I call it a brain disorder because that is what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it becomes, and it becomes a brain disorder in addition to the disorders that we may have had prior to becoming alcoholics or subject to AUD. But and then I was just posting. You got me on a roll here because there are and there's no the most positive thing that a person, in my opinion, can do first, if you and you know that you have a problem if you do have a problem with alcohol.
Jeez, yeah, and if it, how do you know if you got a problem drinking? If it causes problems, and I know that I know that I have a problem, man. I've run, the whole men's thing, Carl. When that comes around, and there may be a couple people who won't even take an amends from me. I've said bad things. Oh my gosh, I've done and said bad things.
But hey, as far as that goes, as long as you attempt, you're not doing it for them. I mean, you're not. Yeah, we talked about this last night, I think, but you're not making amends for them. You're doing it for yourself. And I did the same thing. I had two that would have, if I had been in front of them and made an amend, they probably would have pulled out a gun out of their office desk or what. But no, seriously, they.
No, that's I was talking to Jeff, Jeff Graham. He calls in, and I was talking to him last night, and he said I was on the way home. I was talking to him, and I told you about his son, his daughter and son said, hey, why don't you go to this wedding with us? He went to the wedding, and during the bride and groom's first dance, he was drunk, and he's a very funny guy. He cut in he said, can I cut in? Yeah, and then anybody danced with the groom, the guy. He didn't, and he said the next day, the kids that went and talked to him, like, Dad, you ruined their dance. You ruined their dance. And we're cracking up laughing about it, but he said, no, he said, at the time, it was one of the worst things in my life. I just wanted to die. Well, I would never have done that sober. That is just, and when you start seeing a pattern, that a frequent pattern of that type of behavior when you're drinking, those are problems. It's time to stop. And you heard me say earlier, a lot of people have this movement called sober curious. They're just like when people are watching. They're not. A lot of people watching, because they don't. If I'll share it on my main page later, and it will get several thousand views, and I can tell how long they're watching. They watch a lot of it. A lot of people don't want to call in. They're embarrassed. They don't want people thinking that, hey, they're, oh my gosh, I saw you on Sober Talk. Well, if they saw you, you saw them, so no big deal. But a lot of people are just seeing, like, maybe drinking is not a good thing. I don't have a problem with it, but a lot of people are just, there's a whole movement of people not drinking. And the reason why we don't hear a lot about it, because I think that maybe the alcohol, there's lobbyists paying millions and millions of dollars to make sure that, they don't talk too bad about it because of, it's a multi-billion-dollar business. I mean, who knows? I
Hey,
don't know anything, but
this you're making a great point right now. And several years ago, because I work with another organization that uh, the amount of money fuel. I went on to every state's budget,
hmm
and alcohol and tobacco are in the top 10 revenue generators for every state.
oh yeah,
Uh, they cannot, the the states cannot afford not to have alcohol. So, and I don't remember the exact number, Tom, but it was something like 70% of all the alcohol sold in America is sold to people who abuse or who would be considered AUD or alcoholics. And
and tell us one more time what AUD stands for.
alcohol use disorder. It's the new psychology directive they were given in the new book, uh, where they changed the whole thing about 3 or 4 years ago.
Alcohol
And
use disorder. Yeah, alcohol use
there's five,
disorder.
right, and there's 5 levels of alcohol use disorder, and when you get to stage 5 or 4, which I definitely was, and didn't even know it at that time, that wasn't called, had not been created yet. But when you get to that stage, Tom, you're you're playing with dynamite. You're lighting a stick, and maybe it'll go off or maybe it won't. But really, it's alcohol. If you think about it, how many millions of people are dying because of alcohol?
Oh, and same with nicotine. The same with nicotine. Yeah.
Exactly. And I just took out my tobacco. I I do. No, I chew Nicorette now, but
Oh no, good for you. Good for you. I picked up when I quit drinking. I to calm my nerves a little bit because I had a little hard time stopping. I picked up smoking and I dropped it pretty fast. But every once in a while, there's a stale pack of Marble Lights in one of the offices here, and I'll take one after the parking lot and sneak one. So I get it. I get it.
no, it's and nicotine. I've done studies on nicotine. I swear to God, I have a full time job. I own a company. I have to work, but I do a lot of research on alcohol and nicotine. And nicotine has been proven to be helpful. It's the way that for some brains that are possibly like ours.
Oh no, with Tourette's, you would not believe with Tourette's, a lot of doctors, neurologists were prescribing a Nicoderm, like a nicotine patch, and they saw a big decrease, like twitches and stuff, and it help, but then it was short lived, so now they don't go near it. But there for a while, they were experimenting with the nicotine patch for people with Tourette syndrome.
No, I'm writing that down, but I saw it for some other conditions. But nicotine in and of itself is, I think maybe if you're on the ADHD spectrum somewhere,
Oh yeah,
it possibly helps.
yeah. My whole family's on the spectrum. I got to tell you, we're on the spectrum. I'll tell you what, too. Now I'm not trying to get a plug. I own a CBD wellness farm. It's a website called the Hemp Wellness Farm, and
Hempwellnessfarm.com
yeah,
or
hempwellnessfarm.com, and I've seen people. That's an amazing natural drug, and they get the full spectrum. They get the isolates, and I could talk for hours about the endocannabinoid system and how it works and why it works. And they banned it. They banned it 19. In the Marijuana Tax Act of 1937, they banned hemp, and they said, "Well, we can't tell it apart." It was the number one prescribed medication from Eli Lilly grew their own hemp, but
Oh wow,
oh
I
dude,
never.
it's politics gotten that, and I got banned for life from PayPal because I was using that as a form of payment. Uh, but they don't want, there's a lot of companies don't want, but now doctor, they finally pushed and plow through it. Boy, did they plow through it, and it's in grocery stores now. It is in grocery stores. Not the full spectrum good stuff like we're able to sell, but it's but anywho, but well, Carl, thank you so much for taking my call. It's always, I want to wrap up about 60 seconds, but I'm gonna go home and go to bed early tonight. So what else is happening, and what's some parting words?
Uh, Tom, I'm going to say it again. If you're just starting this journey on quitting, do not, no one beat yourself up if you slip one time and then get right back on the on the train of not drinking. Please don't quit. Don't ever quit trying to stop. Uh, man, I that was the only thing that kept me going because I would not always go back and pick up a white chip or whatever you call it.
Yeah, see, when I
But
start back up, Carl, as soon as I start,
you're not going. Tom, you're taking this to the next level, as you say. I mean, really, you started something here that hopefully other people will come out of a damn alcohol closet
yeah.
and and join in what you're doing. Tom, you got to keep this up. It's gonna go. It's gonna
Yeah, and
boom.
I haven't even start pushing it yet. Right now, this is all focus grouping, and it's all learning. It's every time I got brand new gear that I'm working with, and um, every night, but at least I didn't go grab a beer because I was so frustrated. This is
Yeah, no.
helps me.
Hey, Tom, and last word, and let's go. But you said you're possibly going to get some help in there, and I don't think you would have a problem in the world. Not that you need it to raise any funds, but if we could start some kind of fund that would help you continue this in the way that you're doing it, Tom, you're gonna. It's
You know, we we
amazing.
we thought about, we looked at some other platforms, and last night someone called in, and then they called in again thinking I was on the air, and they just went off very vulgar, I mean, saying things. Remember that time we were? I mean, I have to tell you, just later on, but it was. I'm like, what if that was on the air? So we thought about doing once we get it like to podcast level and get it all the bugs worked out, is doing like a $9 a month subscription or something. Where we have professional. That way we can hire speakers and professional people to come in. Heck, we have you come in and people who know what the hell they're talking about. We just don't know yet. But yeah, I would love to be able to pay a producer to come in here and just make sure all the right buttons are pushed. When I first started, last night totally forgot to record the show, and I looked down at my board and I forgot that little red button. I forgot to hit it. So, but yeah, who knows? I
Well,
mean, that's way down the road. I'm not saying we're going to start charging, but if we get a podcast platform and we're hiring speakers to come in on that particular platform, we may try to figure out a way to do it. You know,
yeah,
uh,
we all need to do this together, and Tom, it'll take off, and people are just, it still has that stigma, it's not moral, it's a moral issue, but people like you that are the ones that will be able to bring this out into the open. There are so very few families in this country that does not have a family member or a very close friend that does not suffer from this brain disorder, and that is the truism. And now stop taking up the time. I love hearing the other people talk, and
yeah. We got some regulars. We got a new one tonight. We got Kat, who's a regular. She's a new regular. It's the first time. Ted Watson is again. It's a good show as usual. I got to figure out too. I can't see any of the comments until while I'm recording. I can't while I'm live. I can't. Oh, here's Bev Holland. If y'all are praying people, say one for me and my family. I had to check in. All right, guys. This.
uh,
You recognize Bev Holland. I just got the. Says, guys, we're praying people. Say one for me and my family. I had to check in. Set my family
Yeah,
down to
see,
give them my doctor's report. It was heartbreaking to have to deliver bad news, especially about myself, to the family. Thanks for doing what you're doing. So that's everybody. Powerful thoughts and powerful prayers going toward Bev Holland. So Bev,
hey, Tom, I want to say this. You may not have chosen or thought this might be the path you were going to take, but something has led you to have the ability to help people with this disorder or disease, whatever you want to call it, and you're chosen. Hey,
thanks, brother.
that's the way the ball will
If
roll.
you don't
But
mind,
anyway,
I'd like to call you off the air one day and just pick your brain, maybe.
call anytime, please. That helps me as much as it does, or maybe might help you too. So,
Cool. Well, guys, thanks for watching another episode of Sober Talk. It is a Wednesday night. This is first first. This is not the first of anything. I'm sorry. It feels like the first one because everything that could have gone wrong up front went wrong. Got to figure out a way to do this more. Can't even think. So, all right, love you. We'll talk to you soon. All right. There's the audio. See, this audio wasn't on earlier. So, guys, thanks for watching Sober Talk. You can always call us 502-723-5676. I will see you again tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. And we will build this little show, and we can all look back and say, hey, remember when that show started out, all the problems? So, all right. See you soon.